How are you spending the holidays this year? You may be following some rituals and traditions that you've had for all of your life, or maybe you're going to venture out and try something a little bit different. Well, I want to talk to you today about how you can redesign your holiday traditions so that they're more appropriate for your time of your life and perhaps the situation that you find yourself in. Got some really good ideas for you. Now, this is Margaret Manning with 60andMe, and I want to thank you so much for being here. It's wonderful to have you as part of our family today. And I want to say to our show today is brought to you by International Living. Now, International Living is a company who they basically help people retire abroad. If you're thinking about going to a warmer climate, less expensive, somewhere else in the world, they have people who are doing the research for you, and they've got some really great resources and reports. Check out their website, internationalliving.com, and they will gladly send you a copy of their latest report. They just need your email address, and there's no obligation. You can just just ask them to send it to you. So thanks to International Living. Now, the article I want to chat with you about today is by Barbara Flourish. Now, Barbara is one of our bloggers, and this article, when I read it myself, I just was so inspired by her spirit, by the heart of it, that I encourage you to go and read it, because if you're a traditional holiday celebration person, you may really relate to this. And if you are looking to redesign your holiday traditions so that you've got a little bit more, difference and flexibility and time for yourself rather than for others, this might be the article to read. I really, really like it. So she talked about, in very nice detail, her Thanksgiving dinner. I think it was 20 years ago. She was 50. I think this is right. I hope I'm getting the age right. But anyway, it was a while ago. And she says that it was like a Hallmark holiday. It was all designed beautifully. There was small, on the table, there were like little handmade paper with a little quote inside of them for everyone, like a table placer. After the feast of, traditional turkey and all the things, they sat down and read poetry. One of the young people from the family did a little piano recital. It was like a complete show. And she said every year she did this, every year. And it took her forever. She said 120 pieces of silverware, 30 plates, bowls, saucers, 60 glasses minimum. And it was 27 people, I believe, she said, at this celebration. And it went on every single year. And what happened was, and she so beautifully states this, it became part of everybody else's holiday tradition. They expected it. They looked forward to Barbara's gathering, and her gathering was like the event of the year sort of thing. But she was like doing the cooking and the cleaning and the decorating and the arranging, and it was like, done. This is enough. So she said, when a joy becomes an obligation, then she says, I'm not having any fun. I'm not going to do this. So she did, this reset of her thinking about holiday celebrations. And she said that she fast forwarded 10 years and she was 60, and she was doing that same thing, up to her arms in dishes and washing and cleaning. And, she said, that's it. She's still entertaining, but it's just enough. 60 years old, she's ready for a change. And she says breaking these, habits, these traditions is so hard that you actually have a really difficult time doing it. And she said, what you have to do is mature. You have to mature into the next phase of your life. You have to admit to yourself that you don't want to cook the Thanksgiving dinner or the Christmas dinner or the holiday New Year's Eve party. You don't want to do that anymore. You've been doing it for many years, perhaps for your family, for friends, and it's just not you anymore. And that's the secret to this, is not stopping, saying, I'm going to stop. But it's like, I'm ready, me as a woman, I'm ready to move into the next phase of my life. And so she broke the tradition dramatically. And she said, we're not having the party this year. My husband and I are going to Montreal for the weekend. And they just went. They just did something completely different. And the children, they just followed them with the traditions, like, a small potluck with the children where everybody brings a dessert dish, or, a Black Friday afternoon party where everyone gets together and kind of, shares what they've been doing on Black Friday, I guess. But it's just like smaller things. She still likes to celebrate, but she says smaller things, and in ways that are not so just physically and mentally exhausting. And she says, we sometimes just go visit friends. We go to them and they prepare the meal. And just shifting the lens really made all the difference. So she's back then, the holiday experience was fueled by love. She loved to do it. But she said, now it's not. And it reminds me of our card from the deck, our Aging Beautifully deck, on finding your independence. And this is what it's all about. It's about saying to yourself, you know, I've done this for other people for so long. They've been dependent on me. I've actually been dependent on them. I've been dependent on doing this because I've got used to it. It's where I get my value. People, you know, reward me. They thank me. But then I've got to be independent. I've got to try to be my own person and be my independence. So she said, listen to that small voice. Remember that small voice? We have it all the time. And the little one that's saying, stop. Stop it. Stop doing that. And then just listen to it and do it. So is it time for a change? Now, I'm wearing today something that's very different. I don't have a necklace on for one thing, which is always my thing. I always wear necklaces, but I'm not wearing a necklace today because I brought this super sparkly top and it's going to be one of my Christmas tops. I have never bought a top or like a dress just for the holidays. So I'm starting a new tradition. This wasn't expensive. It was a lot of fun. I'm all for minimizing your clothing, downsizing, all for that. But I thought, you know, this is so pretty. I'll go back a little bit so you can see more. Isn't it cute? And that's going to be my change in tradition. I'm going to stop worrying about spending a little bit for myself at the holidays and just treat myself. And as Barbara says, and I love this quote, the more we understand ourselves and our motivations, the better prepared we are to navigate the season and find joy in all its nooks and crannies. And I think that's a beautiful message for all of us, that as we move into the holiday season, we actually respect the fact that we just maybe don't want to do that other thing anymore. We're done with the decorating. We're done with the cooking. We're now going to do something for us, for our new self. And I think, as I was reading this, I just thought that's such an incredible thought, even beyond Christmas and New Year's and the holidays. It's all about things that you do routinely, that you've ritualized, you know, that are not just part of you anymore. So what are the holiday traditions that you love to enjoy? Do they nurture you and make you feel like well and healthy and happy? Are there rituals in your family that make you feel like you need to change them a little bit, that they're just too much work for you, and that you've got other things now that you want to do with your holiday season? But tell us about the traditions and rituals that you love to do, and maybe ones that you're letting go of. I think that would be a really wonderful conversation. But redesign your holiday traditions to suit the new you, the new woman in your 60s, 70s, and 80s and better. Just enjoy this precious time that we have on the planet and just redesign the traditions so that everyone enjoys them. So have a great day, everybody, right now. Whatever you're doing to plan for the holiday season, just enjoy it all and stay calm and stay well. And we'll talk again very, very soon. Bye-bye for now.